coach. First up is Dr. Denise Trout.
Thank you, Denise. I am very happy to be here today as we announce a new head men's basketball coach. After a very robust and thorough process, we've picked a man who has spent 13 seasons as a head coach in Division I and 22 seasons totally as a head coach. Across those 22 seasons, his record is 465 wins and 193 losses. He has spent 16 seasons where he had a 20-plus win record. This year alone, he beat Oklahoma, a Big 12 school, Tulsa, a Conference USA school, and Florida International, a Sun Belt school. So he's got them all covered. He's the winningest coach in Texas for the last 6 years. And very importantly, he and his wife have entrusted their daughter to us at Texas State. Nicole is a Bobcat in her senior year. And now I'm pleased to introduce our athletic director, Larry Tice, who's going to formally introduce our new head coach. Larry?
Thank you, Dr. Trout. I appreciate that. And yes, it is a great day. I'm going to throw some of those same numbers that Dr. Trout spoke about because I think they're very important. But also, I do want to thank the search committee. We were holed up for a while and spent a lot of time talking to a lot of coaches. And I can tell you, just us moving football from FCS to FBS and the move into the Sun Belt, it just opens up a whole other aspect of what we're trying to do. And we saw that in football when we were able to get Coach Francione. Just the quality of the applicants and the candidates and the people that we spoke to and visited with and came to campus and looked at things. But in the end, what you got to look for is somebody that every time you speak, they've got both feet in there with you. Can't waver this, can't worry about this, because coaching, you have to coach, and if you got to worry about all the outside issues and the different things, coaches will tell you that you can't get cluttered with too many things. You got to worry about coaching and taking care of your student athletes, and we found somebody that has done that. And Parker Search did a great job of bringing us a variety of candidates. And somebody else we leaned on heavily was Jeff Foster. Jeff went through a bunch of video, looked for things, but I can tell you the first phone call I made to Jeff was, he said, "Are you going to go get Danny Kaspar?" I said, "Jeff, I don't know. He's on my list." And Jeff said, as soon as I said that, Jeff said, "Well, I got goosebumps." And Jeff had been following him, and Jeff said, "Man, if anybody knows defense and that's how you win championships, it's Jeff Foster, or it's Danny Kaspar." So Jeff had done, and Jeff would say that about himself too, but Jeff was very thorough in looking through candidates and talking to us about things he wanted. And you know, Popovich calls and talks about Danny, and if there's anybody who knows coaching, it's Greg Popovich. And when he talks about somebody, I mean, you can't get rid of that. And so you go back, and if anytime you can get a sitting head coach in Division I, you have to look at that, because that, sure, there's assistant coaches are great. And they have a lot of work they have to do, but you know, in that last 30 seconds when you got to draw that play up and the game's tied and you got to get the ball in bounds, you got to go to somebody who's done it before, and that was critical when we looked at that. And you look at, you know, the Texas connection wasn't huge for me, but this Texas connection was so deep and so thorough, and his entire head coaching career, the 22 years was in the state of Texas, the assistant coaching at Lamar, Baylor, Midwestern State. He just, all the high school coaches that contacted us, the AAU coaches, the people involved just said, he's out there. He recruits, he talks to us, he knows the lingo, he knows our language. He is the best thing Texas State could do, and that weighed heavily. But you go back as a record as a head coach of 465 and 193. 16 of those 20 seasons or 21 seasons, 20-plus wins, and that's huge. This year they were 27-5. That's the fourth best win total in the country this year. And that was road wins, you know, at Tulsa and Oklahoma, and they lost at A&M by 8. They won at home against Florida International. They lost, you know, at the end at the NIT at Stanford. So, I mean, he was the most, in the last 6 years, nobody's won more games in the state of Texas than Danny Kaspar as the head coach. In the last 12 years, there's only one program in the state of Texas that's won more games, and that's UT. So, man, you got to look at all that and go, man, the guy can flat out coach. And then you got to look at his compliance record and his academic record. I mean, everything was just solid, and it was just too hard to pass up. And you know, when Parker Search calls and asks who do you want to speak to, he was the first name that came off. Now they bring you other people, but they want requests from us, and he was the first name that I put out there, just because, you know, I've been here 14 years and he's 19-3 against us, so that kind of weighed in my head a little bit too. I get so sick of watching him, you know, beat us all the time, and now I'm glad he's going to be in maroon and gold on our bench. But I'm glad to see this many people in the media. We had to put this together. We actually did sign this morning a 5-year contract. We just finished this morning at about 8:30. We signed a 5-year contract. So he is signed, sealed, delivered, and we had to change his flights and get him back out. He's got to leave tonight because he won the NCAA National Association of Basketball Coaches Award for District 24. He gets that award tomorrow. He's up for another national award as the Mid-Major Coach of the Year, and that will be tomorrow at the Final Four at a dinner for the Coaches Association. He's got a good chance to win that. So the accolades, the wins, the academics. He has actually showed me a couple texts from former players today that said, "Coach, I love you. Thanks for what you did for me." And that's a lot. Anytime coaches, and I know he's demanding, but when he's demanding and the kids respond to that and respond when they're gone, that's what we want. And he entails everything we're looking for. So I'm not going to say any more. I'm going to bring him up. Ladies and gentlemen, the new head basketball coach at Texas State, Danny Kaspar.
Thank all of you for being here. I'm very touched by this opportunity, by you, this crowd that's here today. This happened, as my wife and I know, real quick. And, you know, last night we're driving back to Houston, and I'm saying I'm not going to get the job. Otherwise, he wouldn't tell me to go ahead and go to the Final Four and get a call and say, "Come on back." And we whipped that car around and came back. I want to thank Dr. Trouth, Dr. Tice, and all the people who were on who are involved with this decision. This is a university that I'm very excited and very grateful for this. This is a great university. It has strong academics. It's got great athletic programs. I watched many of your teams compete against us at Stephen F. while you were in the Southland. And there's just many sports, football, volleyball, just a lot of great programs here. And now it's my job to try to add a consistent winner in men's basketball to that list. And you have a great location, which I think is going to really improve our chances of landing, you know, it'll improve our recruiting processes, it'll improve our scheduling. And it's a very vibrant and exciting place. Just in the few years I've been here with Nicole, my daughter, it just seems like a new building pops up every 6 months. And but it's growing in a healthy and robust manner. You can just feel it. If you drive around this university, you say it's happening here. And that's a great feeling for all of you, all of us now who are Bobcats, to have, that we're in a healthy university with a great environment. Beautiful landscaping, beautiful God-given landscaping, beautiful buildings, and administration that's planning well ahead to make it one of the best universities in the country. I want to introduce my wife, Debbie, if she'll just stand. Please stand, Debbie. My daughter, Nicole. Nicole is a senior here. My sister, Patricia, and her daughter, Candace. These three ladies, my sister, along with along with Debbie, and my daughter, Nicole, they take a lot of my time because these are three people I talk to quite a bit. In coming to here, I not only am thinking I'm joining a vibrant, healthy university that's on the move, but now I get to see the three ladies that mean the most to me in my life, and I get to see them often. Many of you met, or some of you may know, I spent 9 years in San Antonio, and we love this area very, very much. It was just a great area for us. It was a great opportunity to go to Stephen F. Austin, but I got to tell you, as Debbie and I drove east, we looked in the rearview mirror several times. And so it's good to be back here in the Hill Country and in this very nice, beautiful area that you call home. I'm going to talk about some things as to why I came. You have many facilities that have been upgraded or built recently, and they look fantastic. And Dr. Tice and President Trouth have told me that there are more plans to improve not all areas of the university, academic and athletic, including men's basketball. And I've been told you got to pronounce this right, Coach. So I understand Strand. Am I saying that right? Strand Coliseum. Improvements and upgrades are in the works. There are plans to help us improve that area, and I'm looking forward to, although I think we're in very respectable facilities now, I can see it getting better. I think your facilities are better than many universities I've played at, or we've played at, and yet they're talking about improving that. So that got me very excited. I've been told by many coaches in the Sun Belt and many coaches that have played y'all this year that there is some excellent talent coming back on this team, that there are some people who can play. And I look forward to working with them to not only improve our win-loss record, but also to improve your game as individuals. I consider myself a teacher first and a coach second, and all of us can improve whatever we're committed to doing, whether it be sports or art or music, whatever our love in life is. You just have to open up your minds, guys, and let yourself get better, because you can. Well, if we ever stop improving, it's just time to call it quits. I will tell you my way of my method of turning some programs around that I've been asked to turn around is to ask a lot of our players. Dr. Tice said he is a demanding coach. I do not deny that. When we walk on the floor, practice, it is all business. We work hard. I never forget what the great player, he's now with the Miami Heat, Battier, has said when he was playing for Duke, and they won 2 national championships in a row. He says, we have great players here, but so do other universities. What we do here is we outwork people. And that's a great statement. We outwork people. And no one's going to outwork us, guys. If you're here, I see some players here, I will not allow us to get outworked by another program that we play. Maybe somebody has more talent than us, but they're not going to outwork us. We're going to cover each other's backs. We're going to play team basketball. We're going to play pressure D. Some people say, well, you got to wait where we're at. No, you can do that wherever you're at. It's just a matter of saying, I accept that facet of your plan, Coach. I accept that can work. And that's what my team did this year. I dare say, and I think a lot of coaches in the Southland would agree with me, that we probably had the 4th or 5th best talent group in the league, but I've never been around a group of young men this year, as I have had this year, that accepted coaching, worked hard every day, loved each other, and just, we use the term, cover each other's back. And they won 27 games, and they lost 5 games by a total of 18 points. And 8 of that was to A&M when we had a foul in the last minute after missing shots. And obviously they hit their free throws, and we come down, miss, we foul, they hit their free throws, and that type of thing. It was a dream season. Unfortunately, it fell a little short. We didn't get in the NCAA tournament, but I never faulted my players for their effort. I just hope I can coach a few more teams like that group I'm going to leave behind at Stephen F. Austin. But we're going to do a pressure defense. I think, fellas, you need to understand, and folks, you need to understand this allows us more opportunities to score the basketball. It will limit possessions for our opponents, and it allows for more players to get on the floor. This is because if we play defense the way I want it to be played, you're going to be tired, and you're going to say, Coach, I need a break. And then some people get to play more off the bench. And that makes more people happy, more people content. And like I said, I can't keep 13 guys happy, but I'm going to try to get 10 as happy as I can. And when you're going 27-5, usually the last 3 maybe they're not as happy as they can be, but they're saying, I'm glad to be a part of something like this. We will emphasize sharing the ball and more balanced scoring among our players. We will play inside out, meaning that we're going to get that ball inside the paint, whether we throw it in there or drive it in there at some point during our possessions. We will play with great effort, unselfishness, and intelligence. It's a team game, and that's what I think people come to see, 5 people working together to produce a successful outcome. Again, I'm really excited and thankful about this opportunity, and I will always treasure my memories. My good friends, and my great players at Stephen F. Austin. I've chosen Texas State for the next and perhaps last chapter of my coaching book. We have the campus, we have the facilities, we have the resources, we have the players, we have the location here in Texas. And I think we have a great support staff to get this done. And with hard work, team effort, and a strong commitment on the part of my coaching staff, players, the university, the administration, I think we can accomplish those goals of frequent Sun Belt Conference championships and NCAA tournament appearances. I appreciate this opportunity. I really do, Dr. Trout. And I appreciate you, Dr. Tice, for giving me this opportunity. And I promise you I'll work as hard as I can to bring you what you hired me to do. Thank you.
We're going to go ahead. We'll do questions. Danny and I will be up here for the media or Dr. Trout. We won't do them in an open forum. So any media, we will remain up here and we can answer questions. Appreciate everybody coming. It's a great day to be a Bobcat, and we're going to move on to the next chapter and win some championships. So I appreciate everybody making it today. Thank you.